Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. Before starting the video, please subscribe and keep watching for more details videos. Coco Gauff and Madison Keys' hot streak sparks Monica Seles' bold take on women's tennis. The time has finally come for the American women to dominate the WTA circuit. After Serena Williams retired back in 2022, she left a big void to fill. Although the likes of Coco Gauff and Jessica Pegula were emerging on the tour, big results with consistency were absent from the American contingent until this season. However, Gauff, Madison Keys, and Amanda Anisimova have achieved some impressive results this year. While Keys won the Australian Open, Gauff clinched her maiden French Open title, and Anisimova made it to the summit clash of the Wimbledon Championships. Despite these impressive results, Seles made a bold claim about the domination of Americans on the WTA circuit. When it comes to the ADP, the Grand Slam final winners of late are much more predictable. Take the example of the last 7 major tournaments. There have been only 2 winners on the men's side during that period, with Carlos Alcaraz and Jannik Sinner dominating the majors. On the contrary, the WTA has been difficult to predict, with many claiming their maiden major titles at the respective venue this year. This fact was pointed out by Monica Seles during an interview with the New York Times. She stated, "Women's tennis right now. None of us know who's going to win whatever tournament is up next, and that's great. However, it is this unpredictability that makes women's tennis interesting for the fans to watch, and women's tennis has grown rapidly over the years. Even fellow tennis star Barbara Krejcikova, the former Wimbledon champion, admitted to the unpredictable nature of women's tennis. I like it this way. It's very unpredictable, and I think it's different. It's nice that everybody has that potential and can believe they can be the next slam champion," she said, adding to the fact that fans enjoy such a nature of sport. Meanwhile, Gauff wants to end this uncertainty in women's tennis and begin dominating on the tour. Ahead of the US Open, she took a massive decision, which might work in her favor. Coco Gauff will skip the mixed doubles event, with the US Open introducing a star-studded mixed doubles format from this year's edition. Gauff was set to take part in the $1 million extravaganza. However, just days before the event, she decided to focus only on singles and skip the mixed doubles event. Instead, Gauff will practice hard to get ready for the tournament. Citing her concerns about the mixed doubles event participation, Gauff said, "For me, it was just because I know the free week of the US Open's already packed for me for sponsor things, and it was just like a whole another thing. And I'm competitive. Like if I were to lose, I would not be happy." Meanwhile, Gauff knows what it takes to win the US Open title, having captured her maiden Grand Slam title here back in 2023. It'll be interesting to see if she can replicate that feat this time around. The summer hard court season blazed on, but it wasn't just the heat rising. It was Coco Gauff and Madison Keys setting courts aflame coast to coast. From Washington, D.C. to Cincinnati, their rackets hummed like engines of destiny, pushing them deeper into the draw and into the headlines. But it wasn't just the wins or the forehands. It was how they were winning, dominant, poised, powerful. The echoes of their performances rippled far beyond the stadium walls. And somewhere in Florida, watching with sharp eyes and a heart that still beat in rhythm with the sport she once ruled, Monica Seles sat back, smiled, and spoke out. "This feels like the beginning of something special for women's tennis," she told a reporter during an ESPN segment. "What Gauff and Keys are doing isn't just about victories. It's about the return of an emotional, gutsy, fearless tennis. It's electric." The comment lit up the tennis world. Coco, the Phoenix Rising. Coco Gauff's meteoric rise has long been the stuff of sports documentaries. From her breakout at Wimbledon in 2019 at age 15, defeating Venus Williams, to clinching her first Grand Slam at the US Open in 2023, Coco was already a star. But in the summer of 2025, she began looking like the star. Now 21, she brought maturity to her game, backed by a blistering serve and the kind of court coverage that made opponents second-guess their winners. Her backhand, once a steady shot, now carried venom. Her forehand, often criticized, had turned into a weapon under pressure. But perhaps her most dangerous quality? Belief. In the Washington Open quarterfinal, Down a set and 2-5 to Elena Rybakina, Gauff clawed her way back, saving 4 match points with a mix of grit, athleticism, and audacity. One cross-court pass on the full sprint had the crowd gasping. "That's Serena stuff," said one commentator. She smiled post-match. "I'm just having fun. I feel free." Madison, the silent storm. If Coco is a flame, Madison Keys is thunder on a hot night. Quiet at first, then boom. 4 years, fans have waited for Keys to consistently convert her talent into dominance. The power was always there. 120 miles per hour serves, searing forehands, the ability to hit winners off balance. But inconsistency, nerves, and injuries hampered her trajectory. Not this summer. Now 30, with her experience, seasoned by battles and heartbreaks, Madison had found her zone. In Toronto, she dismantled Aryna Sabalenka in under 70 minutes, the kind of surgical performance that left even Sabalenka applauding at the net. "This version of Madison Keys could beat anyone," said former number 1 Tracy Austin. But it wasn't just her tennis, it was her composure. Madison was smiling more, lingering longer with fans, and playing as though she had nothing to prove, and everything to express. "I used to chase perfection," she admitted in an interview. "Now I chase the moment." The Seles statement. When Monica Seles speaks, tennis listens. A 9-time Grand Slam champion, Seles dominated the early 90s with a two-fisted ferocity that redefined the women's game. Her career, cruelly interrupted by a shocking on-court attack in 1993, remains one of the sport's most poignant what-ifs. But today, Seles is more than a legend. She's a beacon for emotional authenticity in tennis. And watching Coco and Madison, she saw not just brilliance, but a mirror of her own spirit. In them, I see that willingness to show vulnerability and fight like hell, Seles said. "It's not just about stats, it's about heart. That's what connects fans. That's what builds eras." Her boldest take, however, came later that week during an appearance on a tennis podcast. This could be the next great American rivalry, but more than that, it's a rebirth. The WTA is about to enter its most thrilling phase since the Williams era. A sport poised for renewal. For years, women's tennis has navigated transition. The retirement of Serena Williams left a vacuum not just of talent, but of personality and spectacle. While stars like Iga Swiatek, Aryna Sabalenka, and Elena Rybakina delivered on court excellence, many fans longed for the emotional roller coasters that once defined the game. Enter Gauff and Keys. Their contrast is part of the appeal. Coco, dynamic and expressive, a symbol of Gen Z confidence and change. Madison, stoic and graceful, a reminder of the power of perseverance and patience. Together, they are more than winners, they are storytellers. One of the most shared clips of the summer wasn't even from a match. It was Gauff and Keys laughing during a doubles practice session, teasing each other over missed shots and dance moves. Tennis, once critiqued for its rigidity, suddenly looked fun. "You can be fierce and joyful," Seles said. "That's the magic." The road to the U.S. Open. As the U.S. Open loomed, the tennis world buzzed with possibility. Could Coco repeat her 2023 triumph? Could Madison finally lift her first slam, nearly a decade after making her debut final in New York? And could their paths cross under the lights of Arthur Ashe Stadium? The buzz wasn't just about matches, it was about momentum, movement, a cultural shift. In the stands, young girls wore Gauff's New Balance kits. Boys practiced Madison's fluid forehand on park courts. Broadcasters noted a sharp uptick in women's tennis viewership. "I haven't seen this kind of energy since Serena Venus," said ESPN's Chris McKendry. And the coolest part? These two genuinely like each other. A letter to the future. In a surprise twist, Monica Seles published an op-ed in the Players' Tribune just days before the U.S. Open titled, "To Coco and Madison, thank you." In it, she wrote, "What you're doing is bigger than wins. You're reminding the world why women's tennis matters. You're playing with courage and joy. And in doing so, you're inspiring a new generation. I see myself in you. Not because you hit the ball hard, though you do, but because you love the battle. Keep going. Keep feeling. Keep fighting. The sport needs you. And I'll be watching." The letter went viral. And as Coco Gauff and Madison Keys took to the court in their next matches, the crowd felt it. The stakes weren't just personal anymore. They were generational. Final rally. No one knows how the summer story will end. Tennis, after all, is mercilessly unpredictable. But in the sparks lit by Coco and Madison, Monica Seles saw the embers of a renaissance. Women's tennis has always been about more than rankings. It's about resilience, rebirth, and rhythm. It's about women daring to show the world their power, even when the world isn't ready. This time it is. And if the roar of Ash Stadium later this month sounds louder than usual, it's because fans aren't just cheering for points. They're cheering for possibility.